more of the same.
In 2007, NASCAR's race was the talk of the town here at North America's oldest street course. This fast, narrow street course provided the setting for plenty of excitement for a crowd-pleasing, no-holds-barred street fight. The finesse of road racing took on its own persona. Patience was thin, attitudes were aggressive, and the search for victory was the only thing on everyone's mind, no matter the consequences. Today, the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, presented by Sirius Satellite Radio, center stage here on Trois Riviere's renowned street course, as we bring you the GP 3R100. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dave Bradley. Alongside me is Billy Rouse Jr. and Todd Lewis, as always, is trackside. Billy, here at Trois Riviere, not only do we have a world-class venue for a street course, we also have a world-class arena for wrestling matches, even over the course of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and who can forget last year?
Oh, it was an epic wrestling match between the 27 and the 02. Kerry Mix came down to a last-lap body slam, and Kerry Mix was the victor. But, Dave, these style of racetracks breeds the style of racing. It's very, very narrow here. It's very fast. You put those big full-body stock cars out there, and it just brings out a little bit of temper, a little bit of ego, but it makes for some exciting racing.
It sure does. Last year's finish, the 27 of Andrew Ranger actually finished on top of the 02 of Kerry Mix. Took NASCAR a little bit of time to figure out who exactly had won that race, but during that time frame, the 27 of Ranger actually had some choice words for Mix down along pit lane. But really, these road races bring out new rivalries, even more so than the ovals, don't you find?
Well, it brings out a different talent in our drivers. You know, we have guys that really love ovals, and we got guys that love street courses and road courses. But let's check what happened this year. Young J.R. Fitzpatrick comes out in the rain, dominates at Mossport. Tagliani comes out of nowhere at Edmonton on the runways and dominates that race. And then the hometown boy Ranger gets it all done in Quebec.
And with more on today's event and how the drivers will stack up for the 100-kilometer feature race, we'll throw it down to Todd.
Guys, we had practically perfect conditions for qualifying on Saturday. 28 of these NASCAR Canadian Tire Series cars took times out on the track. In the early going, it was Quebec driver Alex Tagliani who whipped around the concrete jungle in a time of 108.629. Next, it was Kerry Mix who went to the top of the timesheets, putting his BDI Ford in position 1 with a time of 108.529. Robin Buck in his number 88 Ford Fusion was into the top 5, but had his time disallowed. He spun out on course. His crew went over the wall to try to help him get back and going in the right direction. That caused his time to be disallowed. He'll start from the back of the field. As qualifying came to a close, it was the number 84 Chevrolet of J.R. Fitzpatrick who went on a charge. The 21-year-old breaks his own track qualifying record, puts in a time of 108.446. That's an average speed of a little over 80 miles an hour. JR, you've been on the front row before at this place. What does it take to get around here, not just for one lap, but for the whole race?
I mean, this place is one of our tougher tracks for sure. There's 28 guys here who are all in contention to win. Basically, what we're going to do is basically the same as what we did in Montreal. Get out front early, set the pace for a few laps, and save our stuff for the end. Brakes very important here, and also keeping the motor together. But hopefully the 84 Fitzpatrick Motorsports Chevy is going to seal the deal today.
All right, J.R. Fitzpatrick will have a familiar face alongside on the front row. Of course, in Montreal, a couple of races ago, it was Kerry Mix who started in the number 1 spot. Getting a couple last-minute words with Alex Tagliani. But, Kerry, you started up on the front with J.R. in Montreal. What do you have to do to get around here? There's only a couple of spots to pass.
Well, it's a long race, 42 laps, and you never know when you're going in the first corner or wherever it may be. You don't know what's gonna happen exactly, so you got to just play it by the second. But like I was just talking to Alex there, and I said, we got to get through the first few laps. It's 42 laps, so long race. If he's ahead of me or I can see him, then I'll let him go. If not, I'm gonna go and take the position, or same with JR. Whatever it may be. It just ever how it plays out, that's what's gonna happen. Then we'll go for it at the end.
That was pretty exciting with Kerry Mix last year at the end. Alex Tagliani is alongside. We'll see how this one shakes out when we go green when we return.
Bye, honey. See you later.
New Winwell hockey gear uses revolutionary CleanSport NXT technology to naturally eliminate odors. The more you sweat, the harder it works, and it's guaranteed for the life of the equipment. Hockey starts at Canadian Tire.
Why does the all-new Dodge Journey make the competition so uncomfortable? Because there's room for me.
And me. And me. And me. And me. And me. And me too.
Other crossovers. can't handle this crowd.
The all-new Dodge Journey. Compare and cross over at startyourjourney.ca.
When you make a pit stop with the all-new Dodge Journey, chances are it won't be for gas, because Journey has best-in-class fuel economy. The choice is clear.
The all-new Dodge Journey. Compare and cross over at startyourjourney.ca.
When you're in the zone, you feel like you can do anything. And your game goes to a level that turns opponents into witnesses. People take a lot of different paths to get to the zone, but many of those paths have the same starting point.
The 9th round of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN is brought to you by Castrol Syntec. Unlock the power. By Mopar, authentic performance. And by Duplicolor, the premium brand leader in automotive paints, primers, and coatings. 28 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series cars line up for the 40th running of the Grand Prix de Trois Rivière. Billy, this is North America's oldest and most prestigious street race.
Well, Dave, historically, this race has favored the open-wheel crowd, but with all the excitement that Mix and Ranger created last year, man, they can't wait to see this year's version.
There's top spot held down by the 20-year-old from Ayr, Ontario. In 2006, J.R. Fitzpatrick came close to winning this event. He and his teammate Don Thompson dueled to the finish. And now with the command to start your engines, here is Mark Bocking.
Drivers, start your engines.
28 of the best stock car drivers in Canada, and this year's version of Fireworks is about to get underway.
Number of drivers we'll be riding along with here today include the 29 of Pierre Vork in the Mohawk Internet Technologies number 29 as the fireworks explode overhead. Get ready for a great race here in Trois Rivières. And we'll start things off by taking a look at today's Duplicolor starting grid. Of course, on pole is the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Outside of the front row, Kerry Mix in the 02. Row number 2 has Alex Tagliani in the 7. Don Thompson Jr. in the 4. Good qualifying position for those two. Scott Steckley in the 22. He is your points leader, and Mark Tilley in the 9 will start outside of row 3. There's Andrew Ranger in the 27. Jason Hathaway in the 3. Dave Whitlock drives the 39, and Peter Gibbons in the 1. They make up row number 5. And then we look back to row 6 as Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the 16. Anthony Simoni in the 95. Row 7 has Pierre Vork in the 29. Derek Lynch drives the 77. And we'll take a look back to row number 8 with Jim Lapsevich in the 25 and Brad Graham in the 19. The 42 is Peter Kloot. Kent Noon drives the number 18, and then row number 10 has Dave Connolly in the 82 and Jason White in the 21. Row number 11, John Gott, very native in the 12, and then J.F. Dumoulin in the 07, making his first start of the 2008 season. Andre Corsol drives the 5, and Jared Whistle in the 44. David Thorndike's in the 67. DJ Kennington all the way back in row number 13. Robin Bach in the 88, and Didier Schreinen drives the 94. They make up the final row, row number 14.
Well, Dave, we'll take a look at the Allied Steel Buildings race analysis. It's a 42-lap, 100-kilometer event. This is a 2.4-kilometer street course. It's a very warm 26 degrees, and last year's winner, Mr. Excitement, was Kerry Mix.
Riding on board with Alex Tagliani, the driver of the 7. And Billy, let's take a look at this 10-turn street course.
Well, Dave, historically, the two passing zones are turn 1 and turn 6. And if you really got the nerve, you can blow it up the inside in turn 9.
It is a tough, fast, yet narrow street course that breeds excitement here at Trois Rivières. And with more, here's Todd.
Thanks, Dave. As we've heard up and down pit lane all day today, everybody has talked about patience, preserving their car to the end of the race. Well, all except one, the 17 Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington. Talking with him earlier today in the garage, he said, there is nothing to wait for. We've got to go right from the beginning, try to gain spots, use the cautions if they come. Look for DJ to be on a charge right away.
So the cars lining up 2 by 2 as they prepare for the start of today's 100-kilometer event. It's the GP3R from Trois Rivières. There is your pole sitter, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Kerry Mix in the 02 pulls up alongside Sean Gibbs, holding the back, waiting to throw that green flag. It's up, and we're underway here at Trois Rivières.
Under the green flag, up through the gearbox. We're heading side by side for turn 1. JR is in the preferred groove.
And he will power into the top spot. Kerry Mix looking for a hole to get by, but look at this field of NASCAR Canadian Tire Series cars jockeying for positions through the first couple of corners.
That's the real neat thing about stock car drivers on a street course. They really just go after it right from the get-go. And look at all the action. There's action front to back right now in this opening lap.
2 wide through Port Duplessis here in Trois Rivière. That is a sketchy place to pass, but these drivers seem to make it work.
Well, again, what I was saying, that's the neat thing about stock car drivers. They don't really believe in passing zones and braking zones. They just take the spot when it's spot's there to be taken.
Don Thompson Jr. settling into third spot as we ride on board with the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr.
Oh, listen to that Dodge horsepower. Down third gear, down into second. Hard on the brakes, makes the turn in. Man, that's... Whoa, we got one wide.
Way off on the concrete runoff, and it is the 39 of Dave Whitlock. That's the beauty of this place, is you can open it up as Kerry Mix gives a little bump and away from the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Wow, the action's fast and furious. Kerry Mix is going to the front. He wants those 5 bonus points.
And he's going to nose that beyond digital imaging. Ford Fusion, brand new scheme on board. That 02 and Mix way high and into the wall.
Wow, Kerry Mix in the opening interview said he was going to be patient. He hasn't showed us that at all yet, and there's the mistake that comes from that impatience.
A huge mistake for the driver of the VDI Ford Fusion, Kerry Mix. He started on the outside of the front row, and now with likely a severely wounded race cars, the 2 Fitzpatrick Motorsports, the 84 and the 4 take the top 2, and Mark Dilley will pick up a spot underneath the points leader.
Mark Dilley, a textbook pass under braking. Got the draft up in there, pulled down into the braking zone, and outbroke the 22 of Steckley.
So Dilley picks up 5th spot with that pass. Again, riding on board with the 60 car rolled by Ron Beauchamp Jr., currently sitting in 9th place. Boy, action comes soon here at Trois Rivière.
This is awesome to watch. Watch these cars as they're so softly sprung in the back that they'll actually carry the inside front tire up off the corner.
Still a ton of laps left to be completed here, 40 to be exact, as J.R. Fitzpatrick leads his teammate Don Thompson Jr. and Alex Tagliani still running third, looking for his 2nd win of the season. You remember he dominated on the runways of Edmonton, looking pretty good after a decent qualifying spot here at Trois Rivière, just settling into a pace. One driver who's having trouble early on, the 02 of Kerry Mix, and Thompson is pit.
Let's try and get more on the 02 BDI car of Kerry Mix. We saw what happened out on course. Stephen Wilson, what is Kerry saying about the car, if anything?
We haven't heard anything yet about the car. You know, it's hard to tell what happens out there, so we'll just have to wait and see what he says.
Kerry Mix did back it out and get going again, but obviously guys lost an awful lot of track position.
Well, here's the replay up off the corner. He's just hard on the throttle, missed the exit apex, and just got into the tires.
He got into it hard. Mix now sits in 20th position. Young Stephen Wilson filling in as crew chief for Kerry Mix while his dad tends to other matters in Ontario.
Well, Dave, as I watched that replay, it looked like it's just some fiberglass damage, and that car should be good to go.
Now, luckily enough, he hit it with kind of the tail in first, so if he went in nose first, he likely would have done a lot more damage as we ride on board with Alex Tagliani. Look at him work.
He looked pretty comfortable inside there, Dave, didn't he? Not a lot of jerking on the wheel, and he's definitely fast.
And Mark Dilley in the 9 car has gone to round tag for 3rd spot. Don't forget, fans, to vote for your favorite driver. Just log on to NASCAR.ca and follow the links.
Well, Dave, it's great. Look up front here. 3 veterans of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, not road course ringers. 3 of the best at the front right now.
And as cars head through turn 6, you can see the caution flag waving. That's just a local caution, but a reminder to the drivers that there's no passing in that corner. That's for Calgary's Jared Whistle.
Well, he's a long way from home to have failure that early in the race. He'll be definitely disappointed, but he'll be back next time to give it another whirl.
Absolutely. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, your leader, with 4 laps in the books.
We torture tested 2 cars in a fight to the death to prove a point about maximum horsepower. The black car with Castrol Syntec, the red a leading conventional oil. In torture tests, Castrol Syntec 5W30 maintained maximum horsepower 29% longer. Conventional oil got smoked.
Don't you use conventional oil? Not anymore.
Want more proof? Go to CastrolSyntec.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Every winter, we dig our vehicles out of the snow in our driveways, roadside, in suburbia, or the city. Tow Truck in a Box makes digging out and getting unstuck easy. It's simple to use and works every time. For outdoorsmen and travelers, it's absolutely perfect for getting unstuck in sand or mud. This award-winning tool should be in the trunk of your automobile. It's officially licensed by Nascar and is as important as a spare tire or jumper cables. Get Tow Truck in a Box today.
Welcome back to Trois, Rivière, Quebec in round 9 of the 2008 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN. The number 4 of Don Thompson Jr. all over the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, and around into the lead goes the Home Hardware Chevy.
Well, Don Thompson deep into the braking zone. You seen the back end of that car wiggling and waggling, but he got the job done.
And Thompson comes into this one 96 points back of Steckley. He needs those all-important 5 bonus points for leading a lap. He won't get them this time. Not looking like it anyways. J.R. Fitzpatrick regains the lead. Here's Tagliani underneath the 9 of Mark Dilley.
Well, Tagliani sailed it down in there, got it stopped on the inside, and he took the spot away from Mark Dilley.
The tow truck in a box number 22 of Scott Steckley looming there as well. Looked like he was going to try and duck underneath the 9 of Mark Dilley. Now to the outside goes the 22, taking a look. But still is the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick at the top of the field. Really the top 6 now, all single file.
Boy, you'd think some team orders would be in play here. Don Thompson Jr. only being 96 points back could really use that 5 points. But if we gave away bonus points for the pole, he would be even with Scott Steckley in the season's end points.
Coming out of that corner, Alex Tagliani got so very close to that outside wall, but he managed to keep it on course as they work lap traffic now. The 67 of David Thorndike just in front of your leader as we ride on board with JR.
What a great camera shot. You get JR up through the gearbox. We have new transmissions now that are clutchless.
And trouble for the 60 team of Ron Beauchamp Jr. As we've had reports from the pits, that motor is cutting in and out. You see Ron Beauchamp Sr. putting the coat and the helmet on. He's going over the wall to look under the hood. That's never a good thing.
No, never a good sign when the chief engine builder has to put the uniform on to go have a look at his piece.
So back to the front of the field, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick leading his teammate Don Thompson Jr., Alex Tagliani, ahead of the 9 car, Mark Dilley, and then your points leader, the 22 of Scott Steckley, rounds out the top 5. As far as points go, Steckley sitting in that 5th position. Of course, Don Thompson Jr. in 2nd. DJ Kennington is way down in 17th spot, and then Andrew Ranger comes into this race 4th in the points, 6th on the racetrack right now.
Whoa, Kerry Mix around backwards again.
More trouble for the BDI 02 of Kerry Mix. We'll take another look at it.
Oh, he got just hot into that corner. The 19 of Brad Graham didn't know he was there, and he run over the back of the car and spun into the tire wall.
Big bodywork damage to the full throttle energy drink Dodge of Brad Graham. Didn't appear as though the 02 of Mix hit the wall very hard, so not sure if there's too much damage on that 02 car. We hit 34 laps to go here in the GP3 R100.
Well, I was beginning to admire that new paint job on that Ford Fusion, but maybe Kerry thinks it's a jinx and wants to get the other paint job for the next race.
So Mix is back out on track, still trying to gain positions. He started on the outside of the front row, now has touched the wall twice here in Trois Rivière, and that's really not something we've grown to expect from the 02 of Kerry Mix.
Well, Kerry's a very aggressive and energetic driver, but we just don't see this many mistakes out of Kerry Mix. Very unusual.
On board with the Montreal winner, Andrew Ranger. Great helmet design. You can see the very colorful helmets of him and Alex Tagliani as the 02 Kerry Mix comes down pit lane, a flat right front tire.
Well, that'll put him down at least 1 lap by the time they get that tire changed and back on the racetrack.
Well, there the leaders go by right now, so Kerry Mix is officially down 1 lap here in the GP3 R100. So trouble for your outside pole sitter. As those troubles continue, we ride on board with J.R. Fitzpatrick now as he ducks underneath Port Duplessis. He's your leader here at Trois Rivière.
Imagine using this to give almost any surface a beautiful stone or tile finish as easily as painting. You can with Hard Rock by Beauty Tone, only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center. With Hard Rock, you just prime, roll it on like paint, and seal it up. Tough, non-toxic, and tinted in a range of colors. No coating is easier to apply than Hard Rock. Only at Home Hardware.
Help is close to home.
Yes, you can. In your garage with Duplicolor. Go to Duplicolor's online garage and learn how.
I'm Joanne Roberts, and I'm a piano teacher. A rock had chipped my windshield, and one of my students, Sarah, Dad, look, noticed that the chip had become a crack. Hi, Sarah.
Did you know you had a crack in your windshield?
Oh, right across the driver's side.
You know what? Bring it by my store. We'll take care of it. It's just not safe to drive like that.
That would be great. Hi, Dad. Apple Auto Glass took care of everything. They certainly know what they're doing.
Celebrating our 25th anniversary.
From the streets of Trois, Rivière, Quebec, you're watching the Nascar Canadian Tire Series presented by Sirius Satellite Radio. The number 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick has led every single lap as we work lap 11 here of 42. A huge crowd in attendance enjoying this race.
Well, the home crowd favorites running third right now, and Tagliani would love to win this one, given his teammate won in Montreal. He's got one under his belt in the home province, and Tag wants this one.
And Scott Steckley in the 22 ducks underneath the 9 of Mark Dilley into Stadium corner number 1, as Andrew Ranger in the 27 closes the gap on the 9.
Well, Ranger's doing a really good job, Dave. You know, you got to remember they had very little practice. He got the wheel hop in the car, and it broke the upper link out of it, so he had to scramble to get that thing ready.
Saw how Lucy got out of that corner as he heads down this huge back straightaway into corner number 6. You can see all the cars lined up single file. J.R. Fitzpatrick leading the field as he got a quick shot from the Duplicolor wall cam.
Great shot. Tag sitting in his office there. You heard him downshift on the brakes, on the power. There he's working the wheel, turning left. What a great shot.
Billy, a street course so much different than the wide open runways that we run at Edmonton, Mosport Road Course. How difficult is it to try and anticipate what's coming around those corners with the walls on both sides?
Well, it's what we've called these the concrete jungle. You miss an apex here, you're in the fence. You go to the runways at Edmonton, you miss the apex, you can miss it by 300 feet and still be fast. But right here, you miss it by a foot and you're jumped.
One of the drivers having trouble, the Allied Steel Buildings Dodge Avenger, is Derek Lynch. He's in the pits.
77 car of Derek Lynch along pit road. Crew going to work first, get the right side up in the air. It's not a tire problem, it's the rear end. We've seen clutch difficulties along the way so far this weekend, guys. That car is shut off. Derek Lynch will be here a while.
Well, Derek Lynch, one of our most consistent racers we have in this series, but he's had a lot of trouble this weekend. They broke a clutch in practice. Not a great outing this weekend.
Yeah, too bad to see. Whoa, we got trouble on the 29 Mohawk Internet Technologies of Pierre Bourque. Smoke coming from the exhaust pipes on that car. You can see the official going over with the fire extinguisher, and the motor is shut off. This isn't good.
Well, we got a good look there on board, and there you can hear making some funny noises. It's out of power, not running really well. I believe that's a motor problem.
And that's where the smoke starts on the 29 of Pierre Bourque, so he'll park it, done for the day. On board now with the Ubisoft Walmart Ford Fusion of Alex Tagliani. Working up through the gears. And taking a look on the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. as the cars work around the 22nd place car, the 42 of Peter Kloot. There's Andre Coursol in the 5 as well, just ahead.
Tagliani was hard on the power on exit there, had that car turned right out sideways, trying to get up underneath the 4.
Well, Peter Kloot in the 42 doing a great job getting out of the way of the leaders all the way off the race course there, but now here comes Tagliani to the inside of the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. They touch. Now they're hooked together.
He's still hard on the gas, trying to get away from the 4. I seen that coming. Tagliani got a great run through the high side, kept the momentum, and got down the inside. Don Thompson turned in like he should, and Tag got into him and drove over top.
Heavy damage to both race cars. Tagliani stalled, and there goes Don Thompson Jr. dragging a front fender as the caution flag flies for the first time here in the GP3R100, a full course caution, and we're going to take another look at this one.
See, there's Tag. That's the great run to the outside, carries the momentum, chops over to the inside, but it's too late. Don Thompson's already in the braking zone, heading for the inside apex. Tagliani blindsides him and drives right over top of him.
Right into the driver's door and then jumps over that right front tire as Andre Coursol comes down pit lane. Dave Connolly in the 82 also stopped down pit lane, and here comes the 4 of Don Thompson Jr.
Home Hardware Chevy makes its way along pit road. Sandy Hamilton, the crew chief, trying to get that hood open. They'll check the brake fluid. That's something that Thompson mentioned on the radio. They're checking, of course, for suspension damage as well on the Home Hardware Chevy. The J.R. Fitzpatrick 84 team also helping out this championship effort.
Well, this is big picture racing, Dave. The whole crew's going to jump on this thing because JR, he's not in the points hunt, but this young fella is.
96 points behind the 22 of Scott Steckley coming in. He'll go down a lap. His teammate, J.R. Fitzpatrick, continues to lead.
Yes, you can. In your garage with Duplicolor.
We torture tested 2 cars in a fight to the death to prove a point about maximum horsepower. The black car with Castrol Syntec. The red, a leading conventional oil. In torture tests, Castrol Syntec 5W30 maintained maximum horsepower 29% longer. Conventional oil got smoked.
Don't you use conventional oil?
Not anymore.
Want more proof? Go to CastrolSyntec.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Cake time.
Yeah, I got it at DQ.
Oh. Oh, hey, I'll take it in.
It's okay, honey. I got it.
Come on, baby. Just let me help you out.
Well, you can grab the forks.
Give me the cake.
Fine. Here.
Thank you. Yo, baby.
Look what I have.
I got the forks.
Get the cake, get the glory. Dairy Queen birthday cakes. Vanilla, fudge crunch, and choco soft serve.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series event from Trois, Rivière, Quebec. We're about to be working lap 17 of 42. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick gets ready to take the green once again for restart number 1 here in this 100-kilometer event. Green flags up and we're back underway.
Single file restart here on the street course. We head to turn 1. There's that 22 of Scott Steckley. He now sits second.
And the 02, Kerry Miggs, got the tow truck in a box free pass. He now sits at the tail end of the lead lap in 16th. Not bad.
Well, tip of the hat to Mark Dilley. Look at, he's having a great run here in this tight little street course. He really needs a good finish to get that team momentum built back up on that 9 Dodge.
Yeah, he's sitting in front of road race ace Andrew Ranger coming off the win at Montreal. But Scott Steckley starting to look, or no, excuse me, that's Jason Hathaway in the 3 car starting to look on last year's champion here in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
And quietly sitting right behind them, we've talked about it all year long. That's a Ford #1 Canadian Tire of Peter Gibbons, looking pretty good here today.
And Lapsovich having a great run as well in the 25 car just behind this battle as we ride on board with Andrew Ranger.
Now you can hear him working the gas and brake pretty hard there, just trying to stay ahead of that number 3.
And driver, we saw him out with engine trouble just a short time ago, the 29 of Pierre Bourque, who came to a rest on the racetrack. He's made his way back to the pits now, and he is standing by with Arton Lewis.
Pierre Bourque has made his way back along pit road. Pierre, sorry it was a short run for you. What happened out there?
I thought we were running really great. We moved up from 13th to 9th place in the first 10 laps. And then suddenly coming out of the last corner here, the engine just broke on me. I coasted into corner 3 and it was dead on arrival, unfortunately. It's the first time that's happened to me in all my racing. So I chalk it up to just one of those things. What can you do? The Mohawk Internet Technologies car ran real strong and we'll be back at it.
Yeah, heartbreak for the 29 of Pierre Bourque. First motor trouble in all his career. That's not bad.
Well, that means he's pretty good at not abusing equipment. You got to remember that car is out of the Dave Whitlock stable. Pretty good equipment.
And you can see the bodywork flapping on the 7 car of Alex Tagliani. How about J.F. Dumoulin in the 07? He's having a great run here in front of hometown fans.
Well, a little bit of home track advantage, and he also wants to do really well in front of his peers.
That's not a bad car either. Car formerly run by the 22 of Scott Steckley, so you know it's a pretty decent piece.
Well, when he changed from Pontiacs over to Dodges, he sold off the equipment, and that's a real good piece he picked up. Now, we're also got to pay attention to how long NASCAR is going to put up with that fiberglass clapping on the 7.
Well, we will keep an eye on Alex Tagliani's race car, but how about the drive by the 17 of DJ Kennington? Started all the way back in 26th position. He's currently running 7th, having a great run here today. And we've got some action down pit lane as well. The 19 of Brad Graham's in.
Full throttle Fury car along pit road. The crew jump over to try to get that bodywork repaired as best they can. Get it up off the ground. Try to get Brad back out without losing a lap. He'd gained a number of positions and was really one of the beneficiaries of some carnage up towards the front guys.
Well, that damage was caused when him and Kerry Mix got together earlier on there, and he needs to get it fixed, get back out, and collect all them serious points.
Yeah, he tried to hang on as long as he could before coming down pit lane, but eventually just had to come down, as there is the 27 of Andrew Ranger, and some big news out of the Ranger camp here this weekend as he picked up a nationwide series ride for the rest of the season.
That's right, he's going to be in the 22 Super Clips of Armando Fitz's.
As we take a look at the Home Hardware Midway update, there's the 7 of Alex Tagliani coming down pit lane. And we've had one caution for just 2 laps. The fastest lap put in by none other than Scott Steckley back on lap number 12.
Boy, what a surprise. You know, the 22 car laying down a fast lap in a race. We've seen that many times this year, and the crew is working very hard to get Tagliani's fiberglass refastened to rejoin the fray.
Looks like they're working hard on the front to try and get the airway open. Is that right?
Well, you know, you got to get air to the motor. Oh, Peter Gibbons overcooks the corner and down the runoff.
DJ Kennington tucks underneath, but the Canadian Tire Ford Fusion of Peter Gibbons, and we've got more cars around. Possibly oil down in that corner. It's the 25 Tim Horton Chevy Monte Carlo of Jim Lapsovich, who's facing the opposite direction. The caution flag flying in that corner. But so far, not a full course caution, and Gibbons back on track. JF Dumoulin going around on the inside, and now Anthony Simone with the window net down. He has broken a motor.
Well, Dave, that's where our oils come from. Look at this. DJ and Peter going at it. Peter gets loose in the oil. DJ misses it, makes the corner perfectly, and then all of a sudden, here we come. We got the 25 backwards. We got them all over the place.
Gibbons did a wonderful drive job trying to keep that car off the wall, and he did, so no damage to the one car as he rejoins the race. And look at Steckley starting to make a move on the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. On board with Andrew Ranger in the Walmart Tide Ford Fusion.
Oh, we're starting to see some smoke out of that car. We'll have to keep an eye on that as the race progresses.
That's the 9 of Mark Dilley, just ahead of the 27 of Andrew Ranger. Not too much smoke visible right there, but you definitely saw it as we rode on board with the 27.
We'll have to keep an eye as that goes along. Probably a little bit of a rear end or transmission because we don't see anything coming out the pipes, so I doubt that it's a motor problem, even though Pierre Bourque has already had an engine failure out of that camp.
Andrew Ranger really doesn't want to stick around behind the 9 car too much longer. He takes a look on the inside, heading down Rue Gilles Villeneuve into corner number 1, and Ranger will back off and tuck back in behind the 9.
Well, this would really be disappointing if Mark Dilley has a mechanical failure because he's having a great road race here today.
He is too. You know who else is having a great road race is Andrew Ranger under the Fort Duplessis will pick up that spot, ducking underneath the 9 spot, so move the 27 up into 3rd.
Wow, Ranger really forced the issue there. That's not the best passing zone because of how narrow it is going underneath the arches, but you know what? He's seen that wounded duck sitting in front of him and shot him out of the sky.
See Ranger at work. I was going to mention another driver having a great race here today is the Snap-on Dodge of Jason Hathaway, sitting inside the top 5. He's been at the front all day long, quietly having a very, very solid run here in Trois Rivière, but J.R. Fitzpatrick has led every single lap so far.
We torture tested 2 cars in a fight to the death to prove a point about maximum horsepower. The black car with Castrol Syntec, the red a leading conventional oil. In torture tests, Castrol Syntec 5W30 maintained maximum horsepower 29% longer. Conventional oil got smoked.
Don't you use conventional oil?
Not anymore.
Want more proof? Go to CastrolSyntec.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Even the healthiest lifestyle starts somewhere. Where will your first step take you? New Fiber One Raisin Clusters taste great. Is made with whole grain and has 44% of your daily fiber. A perfect combination that makes Fiber One step one.
J.R. Fitzpatrick leads the GP 3R100 here in Trois, Rivière, Quebec, when your Castrol points leader is all over the back bumper of the 84. Looking to the inside is Scott Steckley.
Whoa, looks like we're going to be old basketball move. Use that car for a pick. Will it work? J.R. Fitzpatrick's there. Steckley goes across the bottom 3 wide to take the lead.
Crossways is the tow truck in a box number 22. Scott Steckley into the lead as David Thorndike did his best to get out of the way of the leaders. But while they race, the 27 of Andrew Ranger is closing the gap on the top 2.
Look at this, the usual suspect, Mr. Scott Steckley. Mr. Consistency, we've talked about him all year long, with only 1 motor failure all year long.
And you'll notice somebody missing from the top 5. The number 9, Mark Dilley, has dropped out of this race. He is done for the day, so that's smoke. Obviously, some terminal trouble.
Well, that's too bad. Mark Dilley was doing a great job on this tight little circuit.
And so that puts the 3-car of Jason Hathaway up into 4th position. As we ride on board with J.R. Fitzpatrick, who finds himself in 2nd spot for the first time today.
Look at the gap. They're starting to spread out. We got distance for the first time between the leader and 2nd place. Another 8-9 car lengths back to the tied car, and another 10 or 12 car lengths back to the 3 of Hathaway.
And we've talked about Scott Steckley not necessarily being a road race ace per se, but you know what? His road race record stands for itself here this year. In most sport, he finished 4th in the rain. Edmonton, he was 2nd. Montreal, he came home the runner-up finish as well. That's a brand new car as well, and it's built by Chris Couvion, just so happens to be the crew chief on that car, the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr.
Chris might not be too happy about that today, as Ron Beauchamp once again out of power.
Yeah, he's off in turn number 3, so the woes continue for the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Andre Coursol just ahead of the leader, as Scott Steckley continues to face the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick is pushing.
Well, JR's got nothing to lose. He's not in the points hunt, so he's going after it super hard here on this tight little street course.
11 laps left to be completed here in the GP 3R100. And look at how close the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick is.
Oh, you can see that rear end wiggle. He's hard on the gas pedal trying to catch that 22.
Scott Steckley, it's been his goal all season long to win a road course race. He's come so close on a number of occasions. He's well on his way here. One driver who's out of the race is the 9 of Mark Dilley, and Todd standing by with him.
Well, the team is continuing to work on the number 9 Dodge. Mark Dilley has already climbed out behind the wall. Mark, looked like it was going to be a really nice run for you out there today. Frustrating way for this one to close out.
Yeah, car was really good. Happy. The whole Dodge team did a great job. Just, I don't know if it broke an oil line or whatever, but just kind of riding out, saving it. I think we were good. I think we could have finished on the podium, I think so, but tough break.
Sorry to see you out.
Well, Dave, I got to agree with him. I believe he had a car to be on the podium here today. He was running really strong.
Yeah, coming off a podium finish at the Mosport Oval just 1 race ago, as we take a look at DJ Kennington working on the snap-on number 3 of Jason Hathaway, as Kennington is using that car up. He was absolutely crossways there.
Well, DJ Kennington started all the way back in 26th position, so he's using that race car up big time. He's one of the best drivers out here, and he knows how to win on these road courses.
DJ Kennington through 1 and another big power slide of the 17, and Todd standing by with DJ's crew chief.
Dave White is the crew chief for DJ Kennington. This day is turning out even better than you guys had hoped, I think, so far. Anything left?
Well, we're quite a ways back from the 3 car now, so we're just going to try to save a little bit and pray to those caution gods for a caution. But Castrol Dodge is real good today. Driver's pretty tired, but the tired DJ is still a good DJ, so we'll see what we got at the end.
It's a real team effort for this number 17 team. Also up on the pit box today, that's Doug Brown, who normally drives the Haldex Dodge. Doug practiced the car and qualified it, if you can call it that, guys. He didn't even do a complete lap, but did get it into the field while DJ was running the nationwide race in Michigan.
a race that DJ finished 29th in, but you got to remember, what a great strategy DJ and Whitey put together here. They sent that car out on stickers, brought it back in on stickers, so that DJ had all the goodie in them Goodyears.
That's right, so you don't have to use up those tires in qualifying, and he can make the charge up through the field. Steckley's your leader here on lap 34.
This TSN program is presented in high-definition television by JVC. JVC HD, the perfect experience.
Yes, you can. In your garage with Duplicolor. Go to Duplicolor's online garage and learn how.
We torture-tested 2 cars in a fight to the death to prove a point about maximum horsepower. The black car with Castrol Syntec, the red, a leading conventional oil. In torture tests, Castrol Syntec 5W30 maintained maximum horsepower 29% longer. Conventional oil got smoked.
Don't you use conventional oil? Not anymore.
Want more proof? Go to CastrolSyntec.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
I got one! The limited edition blue PSP system, bringing NFL fans together. At least until they're gone. The Madden NFL 09 Entertainment Pack, rated E for everyone.
You're watching the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series action on TSN. Local hero Andrew Ranger trying to hunt down J.R. Fitzpatrick, who runs in second. Only 4 laps to go.
We got to remember, Ranger had trouble in qualifying, as again, I told you all about the broken suspension pieces. Billy Burns and crew has done a great job to get that thing to handle this well and chase down the leader.
With no pit stop for the 27 of Andrew Ranger, so he's done this setup just remembering back to what he did last year as you see the 21 of Jason White working hard to get those all-important points, trying to catch the 7 car of Andrew Ranger in the Rookie of the Year points battle.
Yeah, but with any luck, these lap cars, it's going to happen. And the lap cars are going to be a product of this fine, fast finish.
Scott Steckley trying to put 3 cars in between him and the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. There you see John Gahn, the Centennial Dodge, number 12. He's sitting in 12th spot.
Down into the turn. Now we got lap cars the outside. We got Johnny Gahn trying to stay out of trouble there as well.
Andrew Ranger is catching the 84, though, through lap traffic as the lap cars move to the outside. Do a wonderful job to stay out of the way, but this is opening up that inside line for the 27 to come. Now he's on the back bumper of the 84.
He's there. Look at that fiberglass separating 2 very fast racers. 2 distinct lines heading for the braking zone. He's hard on the gas. He's down the inside.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick still second on that lap as we cross the start-finish line, but Andrew Ranger moves into the second position in corner number 1. 3 laps to go here at Trois-Rivière.
You can hear the whole crowd just erupt when that young guy put that thing down the braking zone, outbroke the 84. The place went nuts. Listen to this. Wow, 7,500 RPM, hard on the brakes. Look at that thing wiggle getting down in the corner. Ranger's up on the wheel.
Both those drivers wiggling hard in the braking zone in corner number 6. Andrew Ranger totally crossways off the corner, trying to keep the 84 car at bay. But does Ranger have enough time to catch the 22 of Scott Steckley, who's your leader?
I don't think so. It's going to take something real big to get the 22.
Off in the corner, the 18 of Ken Noon. He stopped, and that's in the racing lane. So caution flag flies. A full course caution here with under 3 laps to go.
Boy, business is going to pick up front now. Steckley had himself 10, maybe 12 car lengths back to the 27. All he needed to do was hit his marks. Now we're going down to single file restart, baby.
Yeah, just a little further on the 18 car. Ken Noon, real tough break for him. He was running 8th on the lead lap. He was having a very, very solid run in the Interstate Batteries Monte Carlo. So a tough break for that driver in the 18.
Oh, Andre Carousel gets in hot, gets the thing sideways, and Kent Newton's got a flat right front tire.
You can see the white wall on the right rear as well, so it looks like Newton may have touched the wall. Possible suspension damage on the right front of the 18 car. But this sets up a green-white checkered finish. All top three will be nose to tail when we do go back to green. And Todd's down pit side, standing by with Andrew Ranger's crew chief.
It's been a great day so far for the 27 car of Andrew Ranger. Crew chief Phil Burns, is it going to be a storybook finish for this race?
Oh, I'd love to. He loves running here in his home province, and I just love to get up there. And if it was going to go green, I don't think that we were going to have a chance at the 22, but now with a green-white checkered, we might have a chance as long as we got enough fuel.
Just getting word that the 84 is actually now going to get put back in front of the 27 because of the complete lap. Last complete lap, it's just like in Montreal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand that, but for some reason they keep putting us back.
We'll see how the charge goes at the end of this one, guys.
Well, you remember back under race action, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick still held second with about a foot to go before the start-finish line. Andrew Ranger passed him just after the start-finish line, so that is the reason the 84 is put back in front of the 27.
That's right, Dave, because scoring goes back to the last completed lap.
And on lap 39, the 84 was in second, but either way, this is going to be a great dice to the finish as the cars line up single file behind the Dodge Caliber SRT4 pace car. Your leader is Scott Steckley. Don't go away.
Every winter, we dig our vehicles out of the snow in our driveways, roadside, in suburbia, or the city. Tow Truck in a Box makes digging out and getting unstuck easy. It's simple to use and works every time. For outdoorsmen and travelers, it's absolutely perfect for getting unstuck in sand or mud. This award-winning tool should be in the trunk of your automobile. It's officially licensed by Nascar and is as important as a spare tire or jumper cables. Get Tow Truck in a Box today.
We torture tested 2 cars in a fight to the death to prove a point about maximum horsepower. The black car with Castrol Syntec, the red a leading conventional oil. In torture tests, Castrol Syntec 5W30 maintained maximum horsepower 29% longer. Conventional oil got smoked.
Don't you use conventional oil? Not anymore.
Want more proof? Go to CastrolSyntec.com. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Imagine using this to give almost any surface a beautiful stone or tile finish as easily as painting. You can with Hard Rock by Beauty Tone. Only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center. With Hard Rock, you just prime, roll it on like paint, and seal it up. Tough, non-toxic, and tinted in a range of colors. No coating is easier to apply than Hard Rock. Only at Home Hardware.
Help is close to home.
2 laps remain here at the GP3R100 as we get set for a green-white checkered finish with the Milverton, Ontario native Scott Steckley in the lead, trying to hold off J.R. Fitzpatrick and hometown hero Andrew Ranger in his Walmart tied Ford Fusion.
Down the front stretch, up through the gearbox, the green's in the air, and here we go.
And the cars fan out down the front straightaway. J.R. Fitzpatrick to the outside of the 22. Scott Steckley looking for the lead. He won't get it into 1, but big trouble. The 1 car, Peter Gibbons, into the back of DJ Kennington. Gibbons was sitting in 6th spot, and now he's got a pretty crumpled up race car. But we stayed green.
Down into turn 1, they all stacked up. Oh, look at this down the inside.
J.R. Fitzpatrick is looking to try and get around the 22 of Scott Steckley. Andrew Ranger sitting in 3rd. There's Jason Hathaway in 4th spot, and DJ Kennington rounds out the top 5. Look at Steckley take that defensive line into corner number 6.
Steckley right down shallow into the braking zone, making sure nobody's going to get underneath him. If they're going to pass him, they're going to have to go high side or get into the back of him.
Slowing that car is J.R. Fitzpatrick, being extra careful not to hop those back tires as J.R. Fitzpatrick pulls up to the back bumper of the 22. Can he make a move in this corner? Scott Steckley once again hitting the apex, hitting all his marks as they move on to the front straightaway. 1 more lap to go.
Scott Steckley in that 22 hitting all the apexes. Apex gone away into the corner, and he's hitting the exit apexes quite well. Now he's distanced himself by 2 car lengths to the 84, and it's another 3 back to the 27.
It'll be a 3 a gap under the Fort Duplessis.
The 84 is there. He's tight in the back of the 22. Steckley's horsepower stretches it out.
But Steckley holds that inside line. Here comes Fitzpatrick up on the outside.
Oh, hard into braking. They touch going in. The 22 and the 84 side by side, rubbing it up.
Leaning on each other down the straightaway. A full-on drag race down to the next corner. Look at Andrew Ranger just waiting to see what plays out between these top two. Scott Steckley hangs on to Lee Gibbons was slow on the inside. Steckley way outside the 84.
The 84 goes around the 22 safe, but look at this. Roxton Pond, Quebec 27. Andrew Ranger stealing the show.
Look at the hometown crowd go crazy off of the final corner. The win's going to go to Andrew Ranger, followed by the 22 of Scott Steckley. Jason Hathaway will round out the top three, but a big fist bump from Andrew Ranger, the winner here at Trois Rivière.
Man, we talked about the wrestling matches off the course, and last year it was the body slam with this guy and the 02 of Kerry Mix. This year it's the 84 and the 22 get together, and the 27, Kitty by the door, says thank you so much.
Well, the best screenwriters couldn't write a script this good as J.F. Dumoulin does some donuts of his own here in front of a jubilant hometown crowd in Tom and Ranger's pit.
Dave Jacobs, do you believe the end of this race?
That's on us. That's fantastic. And finally, a race goes our way. We've had a lot of, finishes like this where we've been second, and here it happened between another couple of drivers, and we ended up first. So that's fantastic. I'm so happy for Andrew.
Go celebrate with your driver.
Billy, we're going to have to take another look at this finish because, wow, what a way to end the GP3R100 here in Trois Rivière. You see the quarter marshals out congratulating Andrew Ranger, but take us through this.
Well, the 22 got wide, opened the door for the 84. JR drives it down in, but look at that. The rear brakes lock up, and he goes around backwards. Just good hard racing. JR had nothing to lose. He's not in the points hunt.
Here is Steckley's pit, and look at their reaction.
Well, that's Greg Gibson and Randy Steckley. They're watching the show on the big screen TV, and look at the disappointment.
Absolutely, because the 22 of Steckley really had this race won if we didn't get that final caution. But today's win goes to the 27 of Andrew Ranger as he celebrates in front of a partisan crowd here in Quebec doing the Victory Donuts. And we'll be back to talk with them in Victory Lane.
When it comes to safety, the 5-star rated Dodge Journey makes quite an impact with 6 standard airbags. Other crossovers fall flat on that. The all-new Dodge Journey. Compare and cross over at startyourjourney.ca.
The all-new Dodge Journey is packed with cool features, like available flip and stow storage!
And in-floor second-row beverage bins. It really puts other crossovers away. The all-new Dodge Journey. Compare and cross over at startyourjourney.ca.
Imagine using this to give almost any surface a beautiful stone or tile finish as easily as painting. You can with Hard Rock by Beauty Tone, only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center. With Hard Rock, you just prime, roll it on like paint, and seal it up. Tough, non-toxic, and tinted in a range of colors. No coating is easier to apply than Hard Rock. Only at Home Hardware.
Help is close to home.
So what exactly is 3G? It's what helps you get the news really fast. Find your way really fast. And download pretty much anything really fast. The new iPhone 3G. The internet. You guessed it. Really fast.
Welcome back to round number 9 of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. Todd Lewis standing by in the winner's circle with Roxton Pond, Quebec's Andrew Ranger.
Yes, there, boy.
Heck going on. Andrew Ranger coming out of the car. Gets the handshake from crew chief Phil Burns and then waves that checkered flag in the air here at Trois Rivière. He won a couple of weeks ago at Montreal. Andrew Ranger was announced a little bit earlier. Is going to run some nationwide races through the rest of this season. Tell us about that opening. It appeared in front of you to give you the victory.
I'm so happy for the team. JR just opened the door again, and with the Steckley, but what a race, was so tight between the top 5, top 10. And I'm so proud for the Jacob team. The whole guys worked so hard. Bill Burns. And it was not it was very tough weekend for us. And here in Trois Rivière, we got a lot of bad luck. But there you go. Win here, it's fantastic.
Especially after last year, seemed to have one taken away from you. A couple of weeks ago, you were very emotional winning in Montreal. Those same emotions there, I bet.
Exactly. You know, it's so great to win here, you know, in almost my hometown. I'm in front of my fans, Quebec fans. It's something where I enjoy it, and it's so fantastic for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So Andrew Ranger doing a few interviews with the hometown medias. We'll take a look at the top 20 results here. Jason Hathaway, good solid finish in third. How about Jim Lapsevich coming home in the 6th spot? And Jean-Francois Dumoulin, as we mentioned, came home 7th. Don Thompson Jr. recovered for a 14th place finish, and Peter Gibbons soldiered home to a 12th place run. Tom standing by with today's 2nd place finisher.
Squeeze in and talk to Scott Steckley. Oh, what an afternoon. I know you wanted this one badly.
Yeah, I've wanted to win in a road course all year, but we led a whole bunch. That green-white checker, we sure didn't need that, but JR got into us pretty hard there at them, but that's race. And I just got to thank all our sponsors, Tow Truck in the Box, Herb, everybody, my crew, everybody's doing an awesome job this year. It was good to be in the podium again.
It's a nice finish for Scott Steckley, who continues to pad that point lead.
That's right, Todd. Good, solid points race for the 22 of Scott Steckley, who stretches his lead in the Castrol point standings now to 113 markers over DJ Kennington. Andrew Ranger on the strength of that win jumps to 3rd spot, but still 124 points back. Tom standing by with today's 3rd place finisher.
Jason Hathaway in the Snap-on Tools car finds himself up on the podium. It opened up for you at the end as well for this great finish.
Yeah, we hung out there all day, and like they say, if you can hang out in the top 5, you never know what'll happen in the end. So, you know, our road course program stepped up this year, and you kind of got to do that when there's 4 of them in the series. So thanks to Snap-on and Fast Eddie and Choco and everybody's helped me out. Thanks.
Great finish.
Well, Jason just gave Fast Eddie Hackinson a great birthday present. I think Eddie will admit to about 50 years old.
And that's Jason Hathaway's first career podium as well. And the fans here got a heck of a race and a heck of a finish, so they definitely got what they paid for.
Oh, Andrew Ranger definitely got this crowd pumped up. They seen one heck of a race, and the hometown hero gets the job done.
And a cool victory lap to thank the fans for coming out here today in Trois Rivière. The GP3R100 has been brought to you by Castrol. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering. By Dodge. Grab life by the horns. And by Allied Steel Buildings, the leading, most trusted brand of steel building.
Well, other than driving a race car, here's the next best part for a driver, spraying the champagne.
So the shower is coming from the top 3 on the podium. As you see Andrew Ranger spraying Hathaway and Steckley. The next race, the Coke Zero 200 from Cayuga. From all of us at James Robinson Associates, we'll see you there.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Monday, celebrate a national tradition with the CFL on TSN. The Battle of Alberta resumes in Calgary, while the Ticats and Argos get it on in Steel Town. We've got your Labor Day fireworks covered with the CFL on TSN. The following is available in high definition.